Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went in? Or maybe you've had a name on the tip of your tongue, but it just wouldn't come out? If so, you're not alone, and you're not losing your mind. These little slips happen to all of us, especially as we get older. But here's the good news. Just because memory lapses become more common doesn't mean they're inevitable. And it certainly doesn't mean you can't do something about it. The truth is, memory isn't something you lose overnight. It fades gradually, shaped by years of habits, both good and bad. But that also means it's something you can protect, something you can strengthen. And after 60, taking care of your memory is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. So in this video, we're going to walk through 5 simple, science-backed habits that can help keep your mind sharp and your memory strong. These aren't extreme changes. They're small, powerful shifts you can start today, right from the comfort of your home. Because growing older doesn't have to mean growing forgetful. You still have so much to offer, so much to remember, and so much more life to live. Let's begin with something you might not expect: movement. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What does walking have to do with memory? A lot more than we once believed. Studies have shown that regular physical activity, even something as gentle as a daily walk, can actually increase the size of the hippocampus. That's the part of your brain that handles memory. And the best part, it doesn't have to be intense or long. Just 30 minutes a day of moderate movement can make a real difference over time. Think of movement as fuel for your brain. When you move, your blood circulates better, carrying more oxygen and nutrients to your brain cells. It also reduces stress hormones like cortisol that can damage memory over time. Plus, walking gets you out into the world. It gives you something to focus on, something to look forward to, and something to remember. That combination of physical activity and mental stimulation, it's like fertilizer for your brain. Now, let's talk about something we often overlook, what we put on our plate. Your brain is a hungry organ. It uses more energy than any other part of your body, and it's highly sensitive to what you feed it. Diets high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats have been linked to faster cognitive decline. But the good news is, the opposite is also true. One of the best things you can do for your memory after 60 is to start eating more brain-friendly foods. Think colorful fruits and vegetables, healthy fats like those found in olive oil and nuts, and omega-3s from fish like salmon. These nutrients reduce inflammation, improve blood flow to the brain, and protect your neurons from damage. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Swap a sugary dessert for berries. Add a handful of walnuts to your salad. Cook with olive oil instead of butter. Every little change sends a message to your brain that you're on its side. The third habit might surprise you, but it's one of the most important. Stay social. Loneliness isn't just bad for your mood, it's terrible for your memory. In fact, social isolation has been linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline and dementia. That's because conversation, connection, and community challenge your brain in unique ways. They force you to listen, to recall names and stories, to express yourself clearly. So don't underestimate the power of a phone call, a coffee date, or even a short chat with your neighbor. These moments matter. They keep your brain active, your heart full, and your memories sharp. And if you're thinking, but I don't have many people around, that's okay. Start small. Reconnect with an old friend. Join a local group or class. Even regular interactions online can help. What matters is that you feel heard, seen, and connected. Now that we've covered movement, mindful eating, and meaningful connection, let's keep going. These are the building blocks for a sharper mind and a fuller life. But there's more you can do. Let's move on to the next powerful habit that can help protect your memory for years to come. Now that we've talked about the power of movement, eating for your brain, and staying connected to others, let's dive into something that often goes unnoticed, but plays a massive role in memory: sleep. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. It's when your brain gets to clean house, process everything you've learned, and lock in your memories. If you've ever noticed how much harder it is to concentrate or recall details after a restless night, you've already felt the effects of poor sleep on your mind. And as we get older, sleep can become more fragmented. We wake up more often. We have trouble falling asleep. And sometimes, we even convince ourselves that it's normal to sleep less with age. But here's the truth. You still need good, deep sleep. Not just to feel rested, but to protect your brain. During the deepest stages of sleep, especially non-REM sleep, your brain actually flushes out harmful waste products, including some of the proteins linked to Alzheimer's. It's like your brain goes through a nightly rinse cycle, but only if you're sleeping well enough to reach that stage. So how do you get better sleep after 60? You don't need to rely on sleeping pills or drastic changes. Sometimes it's about setting up a sleep routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, turning off screens an hour before bedtime, keeping your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. And most importantly, creating wind-down rituals that tell your body and brain it's time to rest. That might mean reading a book, taking a warm bath, or doing a few minutes of deep breathing. The goal is to ease yourself into rest rather than collapsing into it. And that brings us to another habit that doesn't require a gym membership, a special diet, or even a full night's sleep. It's all about training your brain the same way you train your muscles. If you want to stay sharp, you have to challenge your mind. Just like your body gets stronger when you exercise, your brain gets stronger when you think in new ways. And no, I'm not talking about Sudoku or crossword puzzles, though those are great too. I'm talking about learning, real, meaningful learning. That could mean picking up a new hobby like painting, playing an instrument, or even learning a new language. It could mean reading books that challenge your thinking, watching documentaries that inspire questions, or trying something with your hands that you've never done before. Neuroscientists call this cognitive reserve. It's like a savings account of brain power that helps protect you against memory loss. The more you learn, the more you build it. And the best part, it's never too late to start. Even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your brain is still capable of growth. So instead of fearing decline, lean into curiosity. Ask yourself, when was the last time I did something for the first time? Because new experiences, new information, and new challenges, they all light up your brain in ways that keep it alive, active, and alert. And if you're worried about not being good at something, don't be. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being engaged. It's about giving your brain the stimulation it craves so it doesn't start to shut down from lack of use. Let's be real. Memory loss isn't always just a medical condition. Sometimes it's simply a case of the brain not being asked to do much anymore. And you can change that, starting today. So now we've covered movement, nutrition, connection, quality sleep, and the power of learning. These aren't just habits, they're lifelines. They're how you take care of the one organ that holds your stories, your wisdom, and your identity. And the beauty of it all, these habits work together. A walk in nature clears your head and helps you sleep better. A good night's sleep helps you absorb what you've learned. Learning something new gives you something to talk about, which strengthens your social ties. One habit feeds the next, and before you know it, your brain isn't just maintaining, it's thriving. And you deserve that. You deserve a mind that stays sharp, a memory that still serves you, and a future filled with clarity, confidence, and joy. Let's keep the momentum going. There's still one more habit we haven't touched on, one that ties everything together and might just be the most powerful of them all. So far, we've talked about moving your body, feeding your brain, staying connected, sleeping well, and learning new things. But there's one more habit that often gets overlooked, and it might be the most powerful one of all: protecting your mindset. You see, how you think about aging can actually affect how you age. If you believe that growing older means becoming forgetful, slow, or irrelevant, your brain starts to follow that narrative. But if you see aging as a season of growth, reflection, and continued purpose, your brain responds differently. It stays engaged, alert, eager. Science backs this up. Older adults who have a more positive view of aging actually live longer and perform better on memory tests. That's not just fluff. That's biology responding to belief. So how do you shift your mindset when everything around you, from media to conversation, tends to focus on what's been lost? You start by noticing your thoughts. When you catch yourself saying, "I'm too old for this," stop and ask, "Says who?" Challenge those assumptions, because many of the limitations we face aren't because of our age, they're because of the story we tell ourselves about age. Next, surround yourself with messages that inspire. Read books or watch interviews with people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond who are still learning, laughing, contributing. Fill your world with reminders that you're not done growing. You're just growing in a different direction now. And finally, take pride in the life you've lived. Every wrinkle, every memory, every moment, it's all part of a life well lived. And your brain? It's not a used-up machine. It's a living, adaptable, powerful force that's still capable of amazing things. So here's the heart of it all. Memory isn't just preserved with puzzles and pills. It's protected through motion, nourishment, connection, rest, learning, and mindset. And it's never too late to begin. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You don't have to become a new person. You just have to start with one small decision. One new habit, one day of believing that your mind is still worth nurturing. Because it is. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's one habit you're going to start working on this week to protect your memory? Share it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your words might be the encouragement someone else needs to take that first step. And if this video gave you something to think about, inspired you in any way, or made you feel even a little more hopeful about the years ahead, please give it a like and subscribe. We're building something special here, a place where wisdom is celebrated, where experience matters, and where aging is embraced, not feared. Also, before you go, check the description below. I've added a few affiliate links to products that support brain health and healthy aging. If you choose to check them out, it helps support the channel at no extra cost to you, and I truly appreciate your support. And now, if you're ready for more ways to protect your health, boost your energy, and live the vibrant life you deserve, click the next video that's on your screen right now. Here's to your memory, your brilliance, and the amazing years still ahead of you. Here's to living your best life at any age.